सखी सावन मास बहार, देखो सखी सावन मास बहार। गावत राग मल्हार दुहुन मिली, गावत राग मल्हार दुहुन मिली। अलीकर स्वर विस्तार, देखो सखी अलीकर स्वर विस्तार, देखो सखी सावन सावन आई बहार, सावन मास बहार। सखी सखी न बजावती बिन वेणु, कोई सखी न बजावती बिन वेणु कोई। सब प्रवीण एक सार, देखो सखी सब प्रवीण एक सार, देखो सखी सावन मास बहार। लखी कृपालु कह दो मम ठाकुर, लखी कृपालु कह दो मम ठाकुर। जय हो जय बलिहार, देखो सखी जय हो जय बलिहार, देखो सखी सावन मास बहार, सावन मास बहार, देखो सखी सावन मास बहार, देखो सखी सावन मास बहार, सावन मास बहार। बोलिए श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, श्रीमद युगल सरकार की जय। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। Our koti koti pranam to the lotus feet of Sri Hari and Sri Guru. Our koti koti pranam to Swami Mukundananji. My humble pranam to each one of you. So let us begin today's session. Despite a number of glitches and issues, we are all very much privileged and blessed by the Lord to continue with the most exalted, the most glorious, the most divine Bhagwat Katha, which is very rare. There is nothing like Bhagwat Katha. Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran, as we understood from Sri Maharaj Ji, is Bhagwadmay. Vedas are Brahmamay, but Bhagwat Mahapuran is Bhagwadmay. Vedas, as we know, are a general merchant shop. You have every possible alternatives in Vedas. That is why Vedas have to convey the message in a very general way, because Vedas should cater to everyone. But within Vedas, we have Upasana Kand, which is devotion. We have Gyan Kand, which is knowledge. And we have Karma Kand, which is action. And why only Karma Kand? Why only Gyan Kand and Bhakti Upasana Kand? Because the Lord has three qualities, Sat, Chit, Anand. So because the Lord has Sat, Chit, Anand, the aspects are also related to that, Sat, Chit, and Anand. Sat is about the Karma Kand. Gyan is about, Chit is about Gyan Kand. The Gyan and Anand is related to Bhakti. So three different aspects of God. Sat means eternality. Chit means the full knowledge, infinite knowledge, and Anand means infinite bliss. So these three qualities represent the Karma, the Gyan, and the Bhakti. So there cannot be any other path to achieve God. So why is it that all of us want to become very knowledgeable? Have we asked this question to ourselves? Or why is it that all of us are always looking for happiness? We don't want any sad moment in our life. If we ask one of you that would you like to become sad? The answer will be, are you crazy? Who wants to become sad? We all want happiness. And we may not say that we are looking for happiness, but indirectly we are all looking for happiness. Why? So someone shifted from India and settled down in London. Why? Because London has greater opportunities. $1 and £1 is equivalent to 70, 80 Indian rupees. So when I come to India and I exchange £1,000, I have a fortune. I can live in a 5-star hotel. I can take the best transportation and I can throw parties. So that is the power of pound sterling, US dollars. So we want to shift to London. So the motive behind shifting to US or UK is to earn and become financially more independent. Why? Because when I don't have to worry about spending money, I feel happy. So the final goal is happiness. The means is okay. I am achieving that happiness through change of place. Similarly, one boy in India is burning the midnight lamp, literally burning the midnight lamp and studying 12 hours, 14 hours a day, preparing to get into one of the IITs, Indian Institutes of Technology. So earlier times, in my time, there were only 5 or 6 IITs: Kharagpur, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai. BHU IT was a part of IITs, but it was named differently. And now we have so many IITs. In each state, there is an IIT. So the prestige that it carried in those days was immense. And to get into one of these IITs was such a glorious achievement. They would say it is easier to get into Harvard or Oxford, but it's so much more difficult to get into IITs. Our Swami Mukundananji studied in IIT. He studied in IIT Delhi and he studied in IIM Kolkata. So why someone is burning the midnight lamp and studying 18 hours a day? Because if you ask him, why are you studying so hard? No, I want to get into IITs. I want to crack the JEE. Why do you want to crack the JEE? So that I enter the top institute of India, and when I complete my BTech, I will be a candidate for one of the top jobs in the country. Why do you want to take up one of the top jobs? Oh, I will be getting into multinationals, or I will land up the top job. Why do you want to land up with the top job? Because it will give me great salary. Why do you want a great salary? Oh, I will be financially independent and I'll feel so happy. So there also the quest is happiness. Every situation you pick up in life, why do you want to go to this Ayurveda expert? Oh, I want to learn the Panch Karma, the pranayama methods. Why? Because I want to feel good. Why do you want to feel good? Because I want to be happy. So everyone is looking for happiness. But why is it everyone looking for happiness? Can I ask this question to the panel today, the 7 people who are present in today's session? We make today's session more interactive. So anybody would want to give the answer. Why is it that we want to be happy? Everything that we are doing, we all resolve the issue that we are all seeking happiness. But my question is, why is it that we are seeking happiness? Any volunteer who would like to answer this question from the panel? Today's session, let it be more interactive because we don't have slides. We don't have volunteers. Vikasji was traveling, but he has been very kind to, participate. Would anyone like to answer the question? Sheilaji, would you venture a answer? Would you?
Yeah, you put me on the spot.
because you know the answer, so I thought so everyone
sure.
knows that we are seeking happiness. So my question is, why is it that we are seeking happiness?
Because nobody likes to suffer, because nobody likes to have pain and suffering and difficulties and challenges. So you want to just a plain, smooth, easy life. That's the reason. I think I might be wrong.
So, that I have already said. Nobody wants unhappiness. Nobody wants sadness. So everybody is looking for happiness. But my question is, why is it a different answer, not the same, because what you
Okay.
said is the same, right?
Yeah, what I'm saying now, that after having Maharaji's Tattva Gyan, the reason why I'm seeking this happiness is to have the Prem Dan from the Hari Guru, from Guru, and to do seva for Hari Guru. That's the ultimate aim, and that's the way I am trying to seek happiness ultimately.
Okay, so you are saying enough of chasing the car, the bungalow, the
Yeah, the
grandchildren, and
material objects. Yeah,
material.
yeah,
Now I want to do prem dan. I want to do seva. So
yeah.
this is an action you are going to do to be happy. But my
Okay.
question is still different. I am saying, what is the technical reason we all want to be happy all the time? Vikas ji, I'm sure will know the answer. Naveen ji has unmuted. Yes, Naveen ji.
Pursuit of well-being, like the happiness is closely linking with to the well-being, and we are people, like we often we are going to be physical health, mental health, the social relationship, want to be well-be. So with the happiness we'll get all these things, like leading the meaningful life, like the happiness is the part of the meaningful life.
So all of you are giving brilliant answers. Answers are correct, but that is not the technical answer which I am looking for. But let us try. Let us try Hemaji. Please unmute Hemaji.
God realization.
Yeah, God
And
realization is
Bhagwat
the aim which
Gita.
will give us happiness. But I want a very simple answer, that each action of ours is motivated by the desire to become happy. Why is it? Who taught us that we should be happy all the time? Did we undergo a class? Did we undergo a workshop to learn that we should be happy all the time? We learned many things, but who taught us we should be happy all the time? In fact, the desire to become happy started when we were born. The moment we came out of the mother's womb, we raised a slogan. We shouted, we cried. Why did we cry? Answer is very simple, because the birth process was painful. So the child was experiencing excruciating pain in being ejected out of the mother's womb. So the child let out a cry. The cry was a signal, hey, I don't want pain. I don't want suffering. I want happiness. Who taught the child that the child should want happiness? And that quest has continued. We wanted the best education, we wanted the best spouse, we wanted the best health, we want the best facilities, all for happiness. Who taught us and why? This answer must be discussed and understood, because this is very important to learn Bhagwat Katha. So any more volunteer, or
Is it
yes.
because in the mother's womb we were upside down for 9 months, and we wanted Bhagwan's kripa on us, so that he would let us out of the womb, and when we came out, then we would seek his we would sing his glories, we would seek him, and that is the reason we would seek the ultimate happiness with him, in our minds, in our hearts, with his presence.
Okay.
But when we came out, we didn't do any of this. We soon forgot after a minute. I think that could be the reason.
We are getting very close to the answer. So let me reveal. The answer is very simple. We all want to be happy because we are a part of the ocean of happiness.
Thank you. Thank you. We all needed to hear this.
This is a technical answer, and each one of you should remember this, because sooner or later you will become a JKYOG volunteer or teacher or instructor. So this answer you must have in your sleeve. We all are part of God. And what is the nature of God? Sat Chit Anand.
Chit
Infinite bliss. Infinite bliss. Infinite knowledge. Infinite life. So as the soul, we also have infinite life. But do we have infinite knowledge? We don't have. Do we have infinite bliss? We don't have. So we are all seeking infinite bliss and infinite knowledge. That is why always we are trying to acquire knowledge. Oh, Can I also learn the recipe of gobi Manchurian? Can I also learn the recipe of makhana ka kheer? Can I also get the knowledge about computer programming or Excel sheet? All the time we are trying to acquire knowledge. Where has this tendency come from? This tendency has come from the fact that the soul is the part of God and God is eternal. God is having infinite knowledge and God is having infinite anand, infinite bliss. And unless we achieve the infinite knowledge, unless we achieve the infinite bliss, we will continue to seek happiness. This is very logical. The Ansh always wants to seek the Anshi. The part always wants to acquire the complete, the whole. That is why you take a piece of mud from the earth and you drop it. Where does it go? It goes into the earth. Because you are holding it in your hand, you are preventing it to go into the earth. You are holding it. Otherwise, its natural tendency is to be a part of the earth. You take out a bucket of water you are holding in your hand, but the moment you release, it flows downward, goes into a stream. The stream goes into a rivulet. The rivulet goes into a river. The river goes into the ocean. Why did it happen? Because the bucket of water, it was separated from the ocean and it was not contented. It wants to go and merge with the ocean because that is the whole. You light a lamp, the flame is always going upward. Why is it going upward? Have you ever seen a flame going downward? No. In a windless situation, it is always forward. It is always upward. Why? Because that Agni, that fire, that flame is a part of the sun energy. It always wants to meet the sun. This is the nature. The Ansh wants to meet, to be with the Anshi. And the soul is the Ansh of God. Ishwar Ansa Jeeva Avinashi Chetan Sahaj Sukh Rashi. So Tulsidas ji is saying the same. Shri Krishna is saying the same in 15th chapter. Mame Vansho Jeeva Loke Jeeva Bhuta Sanatanaha. You are the soul and the soul is the part of me, God. So this is the reason why we all want to be happy. This is knowledge number one we should always keep in mind. There were a few other questions which I promise we will discuss in the next session. And let us talk about the question raised by Smita ji about the Vedic philosophy, because we were talking about the Vedic cosmology. Let us recall, what did we discuss in the Vedic cosmology? Hema ji sent me a beautiful video this morning, which we discussed in our US session. Hema ji would have remembered everything, but just for the sake of repetition, for Hema ji, because you all have not heard, let me just recall. We have, of course, discussed this in previous sessions. We have this Brahmand, which is the egg-shaped Brahmand. And how large it is? 50 crore yojan. 50 crore yojan means 4 billion miles. 400 crore mile. We cannot even imagine 10 miles, 20 miles, 100 miles. We can imagine from Delhi to Chandigarh, 200 miles. We can talk like that. But we are talking about not 20,000 miles or 200,000 miles or 2 million miles. We are talking about 4 billion miles. It is mind-boggling. That is the diameter. And within this Brahmand, in the center, there is Jambudvip, which is the smallest dweep. Then there are other concentric dweeps. Shalmali Dweep, Palaksh Dweep, Shak Dweep, Kusha Dweep, Pushkar Dweep. This is called Bhumandal. And in the center, there is Sumeru Parvat, which is 100,000 yojan tall. 16,000 is embedded below and 84,000 is going upward. And after the Sumeru Parvat, we have Bhuva Lok. And then there is Swarga Lok. And between Swargalok and the Bhumandal, the space is called Antariksh. And in this Antariksh, we have all the stars. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, Uranus. We have Saptarishis, Ursa Major or the Big Bear constellation. We have Rahu, which is the invisible star. We have Dhruv Tara above, which is the pole star. And then we have the other lokas. We talked about Bhulok, Bhuvarlok, Swalok, which is Swargalok, and then Mahalok, Janalok, Tapalok, and Satyalok. These are the 7 upper planetary systems. And the lower planetary systems are Atal, Vital, Sutal, Talatal, Mahatal, Rasatal, Patal. These are embedded inside the Garbhodak ocean. That is why the sunlight cannot reach them. But these lokas are effulgent by some other means. For example, in the Nagalok, the serpents have the gems on their heads, and that creates so much of light that there is light in that loka because of those the shining hoods of the serpents. So now we are getting familiar about the Brahmand. We thought we only knew about the planet in which we live, Earth. But actually this Earth, the word Prithvi is also very much confusing to many, because sometimes we think this is the Earth, but Bhagavad will say the entire Bhumandal is Prithvi. So this also we have to know. Prithvi does not mean just our Prithvi. We may call it Prithvi, but Prithvi can also mean the larger Prithvi, which is the Bhumandal. Because when Hiranyaksha put the Prithvi in the Garbhodak ocean, it went into the ocean. Are we talking about just the small Asia, Africa, the Australia, that Prithvi, or we are talking about the larger Prithvi? As per Bhagavad, we are talking about the larger Prithvi. Second thing, we read that the earth is rotating around the sun. And it will appear like that because the sun is rotating around the mountain on top of earth. So somebody can conclude earth is rotating because the relative motion creates that confusion. But actually, as per Bhagavad Mahapuran, Bhumandal is stationary. Jambudvip is stationary. It's a part of Bhumandal. And within Jambudvip, we have this Bharatvarsh. That is also a stationary. Bharat Khand, which is the Asia, Africa, America, Australia, that land we are talking about is also a stationary. So what is causing the feeling that the earth is rotating is actually the rotation of the sun, which is going around the pole star. It is going around the Sumeru Parvat, and you can say pole star also because pole star is right on top of the Sumeru Parvat. The science is telling in the sun, the fusion is happening. The nuclei are fusing, and that creates fusion. The fission is when the nucleus gets split. You crack the nucleus and create atomic energy, which was created by Otto Hahn and Oppenheimer in the Nagasaki and Hiroshima bombing. That is called fission. But fusion is merging of the nuclei. So according to scientists, the nuclei are merging and creating this huge energy called sun, and that energy is creating this light and the heat. But science is not aware about the origin of the sun. Why is it that the fusion is happening? Since how long it is happening? How long it will be everlasting? How long will it be lasting? Those answers science cannot give. But if you read Bhagavad Mahapuran, it talks about the origin of the sun. It talks about when the sun will finish. It talks about 100,000 of rays which are coming from the sun. It talks about the source of energy for the sun is water. So it is completely different. And we being science students, I being a science student and an engineering student, it is very clear to me that science is changing. its stand. First, the science said that atom is indivisible. Atom cannot be broken further. But Rutherford bombarded the atom and showed that there is electron, there is proton, there is neutron. So the conclusion that atom is indivisible was proved wrong. Again, there were subatomic particles like neutrino, etc. So science is forever changing. And science is unable to say what is the source of all energy. Sometimes they say only mechanical energy. That was the Newtonian mechanics. Then it said, electromagnetic. You rotate an armature in a magnetic field and current is produced. So they discovered another energy. And then they said nuclear energy. So many different types of energy they are discovering. But Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, he says in the 7th chapter that kham manobuddhi revacha ahankar itiyam mein bhinna prakriti rashtadha. So bhumi rapo nalo vayu kham manobuddhi revacha. Bhumi means earth, apo means water, bhumi rapo nalo anal means fire, vayu means air, bhumi rapo nalo vayu means air. Kham mano buddhi revacha. Kham means a space, man means man, buddhi means buddhi, intellect. Ahankar itiyam mein, ahankar is the ego, the identity. Itiyam mein bhinna prakriti rastada. My prakriti, my nature, my material energy has these 8 chief elements. Sri Krishna is defining the material energy as the source of all energy, which is coming out from the earth, air, fire, water. So which science is more relevant and more robust? Clearly the science which is propounded by Bhagwat Katha. So Smitaji's question is that why scientists are not talking about it? Why they are not telling the sun is rotating atop the earth? So the answer is very simple. The moment you go against the popular philosophy, you create enemies. People were executed in Europe because they said earth is round. So this went against some of the knowledge. So some people were put on to the execution. So some people cannot say out of fear. Some people do not know anything about Bhagwat Katha. So there could be different scenarios, and it is supposed to be confidential. The spiritual knowledge is not there for everyone. Very few people will know the confidential knowledge, the secret knowledge. This is what we should understand, and this is exactly what Sri Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, that this knowledge is the most confidential. He is saying that idam te guhyattamam. This is the guhyattamam, the most secretive. So if something is the most secretive, only the wife and husband will know. The lover and beloved will know. Even the parents will not know. So something you can reveal to the servant, to the sons, to the daughters, to the friends, but something you can reveal only to your children. But there are some secrets you can reveal only to your spouse. So we maintain the same protocol in our life. So some knowledge is very secretive. It is not for everyone. Confidential knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, is also falling into that category. And that is why Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, idam te na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na chasu shushve vachyam na cha mam yobhya suyati. This knowledge is not for everyone, Arjun. Don't teach this knowledge to somebody who doesn't have the tinge of bhakti in his heart. Don't teach this knowledge to somebody who is not austere and disciplined. And never share this knowledge with somebody who is envious of me, who is jealous of me. Shri Krishna is telling clearly. So this Bhagavad Katha is not for anyone. And it was very surprising. Some politicians, they talk about Hindutva. They say Bhagavad Gita should be made compulsory. Everybody should learn. And I would say, sir, you have not gone through the requirement of Bhagavad Gita, which forbids us to make it widely available. It is only for some selected people. So this is part of the question to Smita ji. She can raise some more questions if she has. So this was one point which we wanted to resolve. And now, we can open up the forum. We have started late. We have limited time. So why not let us have some question answer, which can clarify what we discussed last time, beginning with perhaps
I have a
Smita ji.
question.
Yes, Sheila ji.
I've got this copy of Srimad Bhagwatam in English, and it's by
Ji.
Swami Tejovayananda. Now, the other day I was reading it, and it says the aim of the Bhagavad in Swami Tejovayananda's interpretation, I think he said that it's for seeking moksha. But I don't think that's the intention of the Bhagavad, that we have attained moksha because we are listening to it or we are reading it. I think I personally think the aim of it all is that we have increment in our bhakti, and that we try and aim to become one with the like Maharaji says, attain prem, attain sadhana of attain prem and attain seva of Sri Krishna in Golok Dham. Do you agree or not?
Okay. So moksha has different meaning. Somebody says, मुझे मेरे पति से मुक्ति दिला दो, मैं इतना तंग आ चुकी हूँ. So get me moksha from my spouse. All the time she is doing chick, or all the time he is doing chick. My husband is nitpicking on everything. Ekdam. So that is also one kind of mukti. Means so somebody says, I want mukti from this group. This group is really bothering me. I don't want to be a part of this WhatsApp group. So you want mukti from there. So mukti, first we should understand. But what is the highest mukti? Highest mukti is, moksha is that nothing affects you, material. To say that I am liberated, but you dangle a chocolate in front of that person and he gets, completely berserk. Oh, I want this chocolate, without that chocolate, or you place a nice fluffy rasmalai, bowl in front of him. And all the lecture which he is giving, now he is unable to resist that rasmalai ka katora. So that is not mukti. You must say that I am dependent, I am not liberated. As far as rasmalai is concerned, I am very much attached. So we can extend that. Somebody is attached to daughter, somebody attached to the son, somebody is attached to the food, somebody attached to movie, somebody is attached to a spouse or a lover, so much of attachment. Somebody is attached to the Hollywood actor, the Bollywood actor, or the creator. He cannot hear anything against his idol. So these are all attachments. As long as we have these attachments, we are not towards the moksha. We don't have moksha. We are completely unliberated. So, but the moksha can be in different ways. There are 5 types of moksha which is talked about in scriptures. Sayujya mukti, salokya mukti, samipya mukti, sarupya mukti, sarashti mukti. So this sayujya mukti, kaivalya mukti, it's also called, is the Advait principle. Arey Bhagwan bhi wahi hai, main bhi wahi hu. There is no difference. The soul and God are one and the same. So because of the lack of knowledge, we are thinking we are different. So once we have the knowledge, we will become one. That is what is taught in various groups, like some which you are mentioning. So those are the people who will talk about Kaivalya Mukti. Kaivalya Mukti means you love Rasgulla, so you become Rasgulla. But the Mukti that Sri Maharaji is telling we don't become Rasgulla. We want to relish the Rasgulla. So we must maintain our individuality. So Maharaji says this bhukti mukti is pishachni. Don't ever go for material desires and also for this kind of a mukti, kaivalya. It will do us no good. So we are talking about the Dvait Mukti, where we maintain our individuality. When we go to Golok, we are relishing the bliss. If we become the bliss, how do we relish? So this is the part. Let us hear from some other, because time will be running short very shortly. So Smita ji had a few questions and her questions were not fully answered. जी अस्मिता जी, आप कुछ प्रश्न आपके और हैं तो आप कृपया हमें बताएं. अनम्यूट कर लीजिए. Okay, Smita ji may not be in a position to unmute, in which case let us hear from Hema ji or anyone else. Ji, nahin, you are muted, Hema ji.
No, I have no questions at
Okay,
this time.
you have no questions or comments. So Navneet ji and Naveen ji, Aradhya.
Dear.
Radhe Radhe Aradhya.
It was a really nice session. I enjoyed it. It was like more interactive. But today I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much. Naveen ji, कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
Radhe Radhe, no, I don't have any questions.
Okay, okay. Navneet ji. Okay, so we are exactly at the time. So we were supposed to cover Antariksh and Venus and Jupiter and Saptarishi and other lokas and Rahu. How Rahu, it stole the Amrit, and then Shri Vishnu took out his Sudarshan Chakra, cut his throat. So one explanation of Chandra Grahan and Surya Grahan is the Rahu. He becomes the obstruction, but he fears for his life. He is very fearful of Sudarshan Chakra, so he goes back also. So that is about Chandra Grahan and Surya Grahan description. And the Surya, we should know in detail that the sun god is seated on a chariot. His name is Vivaswan, and the Sarthi Arundev is facing him. And there are 7 horses, and there is one wheel which has got 12 spokes. Those 12 spokes represent the 12 months. And there are 6 hubs which represent the 6 climate, the 6 different Vedas. And similarly, the iron and mass, all these are described. And then there is the description of the zodiac. There are 12 zodiac signs, the Taurus, the bull, the Aquarius, the pitcher woman, the Scorpio, the scorpion, Vrishchik. So what is zodiac sign? Zodiac is actually called Kal Chakra. It is moving, and depending on the position, the different patterns are fixed. So we have so much of knowledge, but looks like today we had there is a shortage of the volunteers, and there is really no one to host and co-host the program, and no one to prepare the slides. But we had a great session.
Yes,
My
we did.
opinion.
So,
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Really good. Thank you,
Yes.
Ajay. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
And
I'm
hopefully,
speaking on behalf of everyone.
and hopefully this program is recorded. So I'll end it. So the recording perhaps can come on the web, on the group. So, and Smita ji may be traveling, or so we will hear from her in the next session. So with that, should we conclude, Sheila ji?
Yes,
Yes,
Rajesh.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
बोलिए
Thank you.
श्रीमद
Thank
सद्गुरु
you.
सरकार
Guru
की
Sarkar
जय,
ki jai.
श्रीमद युगल
Jai.
सरकार
Guru
की
Sarkar
जय,
ki
जय
jai.
जय श्री
Shri
राधे,
Radhe.
जय जय
Jai
श्री
Jai
राधे.
Shri
So,
Radhe.
so Vikas ji, you are there, is it?
Yeah, just came.
So your name is appearing in Navneet. Okay.
So I'm logging from some other place. So.
Okay. So कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? You can conclude. Yeah.
No, but yeah, today everybody was on the traveling, so sorry about that.
हाँ.
Yeah.
No, no.
UK में काफी travel होते हैं, मतलब हर week में.
Yeah, because
हमें
we
भी
are going on the way to Leicester, so that's the reason.
Okay. Sheila ji, I think I should also shift to UK because everyone gets to travel in UK. Yeah.
It's not so warm. It's been quite cold. It's only 16 degrees and rain.
Okay.
Won't like the
Yes.
weather here. I'll show you.
Because my friends told me I don't want to live in UK. It's always raining, So
Yeah.
Okay.
This summer, it's hardly been any summer. It's been wet and cold and windy.
So
Generally.
in the next session, if there is some shortage, no host, then you let me know. Then I'll do something about the slides and the hosting. But I mean, very rarely that everyone will be away. So I'm sure next week we can catch up.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Vikas ji, for taking your extraordinary efforts in coming up. Radhe Radhe.
And
Okay.
getting
Radhe Radhe.
Vikas Bhaiya. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe.